think this is where I just was, right? The battlements where the skeletons were. I think so. Though I'm not positive. Oh, here's another thing with arrows. Or, no, wait, this is where I just was. Yeah, I just did these two. Okay, right. Yes. Okay. Alright. Oh, here's the Carter. Oh, I made it back to him. Oh, how many husks do I have?
Brought some soul husks? Or are you wasting my time? Well, I've been so busy, I don't know. Are you kidding me?
A sword battle. Oh. What? I don't even get to see what it is? It's gonna cost me 25 husks? Alright, we're gonna be cheap about this, just to see exactly what this is.
Or keep pestering me then, by all... Well, I've been so busy, I don't know. What, are you kidding me?
Spell tone.
Sure, here you go. Can't
Wow.
understand a word of it. Maybe it will do.
Pacify? No, I don't think so. Alright. Sorry about that. You know, for being boring. Cheap.
I've heard stories about the Soul Cairn, but never thought I'd see it myself.
Are you sure Valerica has the
No, but
Elder
there's
Scroll?
no way she would have left it in Tamriel.
Well,
She wanted to get it as far away from my father as possible. I can't imagine a better place.
Well, you certainly got that right.
Then we
And
find
if she
out
doesn't?
where she hid it. If she's still alive. Well, as alive as she was before. Or is now. Or... you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Why not hide it in the Soul Cairn and
Probably
return?
to avoid whatever my father would do to her if he could get his hands on her. Or maybe her plan was to come back, but she was stuck here. We won't know until we find her.
Alright. Now the question becomes... how do I get back to that other area where I just was? Let's go this way. This feels big to me. This thing up here. Like it's some sort of end game. See, I'm just worried that those journal pages are just strewn about in places like this. I have no idea what to do with that bloody horse that, you know, just vanished. You know, he was right next to me. I mean, clearly I have, you know, found him. But, you know. Yeah, this has got to be where we're supposed to end up. I'm already out of stamina. Wait, is this where I just was before? No, this is somewhere different. Oh, this is somewhere very different. Yeah, and you can bet stuff's gonna be here. Although it appears to be a force field here. Yeah, that's her. Alright, cool. Good, so we're approaching the end of this.
Serana? Is it really you? I can't believe it. How do we get inside? We have to talk.
Serana, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to stop him. To make everything right.
Wait a minute. You've brought a stranger here? Have you lost your mind?
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you.
Would you?
So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter? It pains me to think you'd travel with Serana under the guise of her protector in an effort to hunt me down.
Well, that's what happened. Ooh. This is no ruse. I want to keep her safe. I've saved her from your foolish plan. I'm just here for the Elder Scroll. I want to keep her safe.
From one who murders vampires as a trade, I find it hard to believe your intentions are noble.
Yeah,
Serana has
well.
sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you.
She did. That's why I'm here for the Elder
Think
Scroll.
I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end.
Ooh.
Key to the tyranny of the sun is Serana herself.
Ooh. What do you mean?
When I fled Castle Volkihar, I
Volkihar.
fled with 2 Elder Scrolls.
Well, clearly.
The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon, Ariel's bow.
Yes, I'm still looking for that bow.
The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon.
Ooh. How does Serana fit in?
Like myself, Serana was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor.
The tyranny of the sun requires Serana's blood. Serana underwent this ritual willingly. Cold Harbor? Tyranny of the sun requires Serana's
I'm
blood.
beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible.
Are you saying Harkon means to kill her?
Harkon obtained Ariel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon. The tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires.
I would never allow that to happen.
And how exactly do you plan on stopping him?
I will kill him with my bare hands. Perhaps... Oh, wow. Perhaps her death is destined. I'll need your help. I'll kill Harkon.
If you believe that, then you're a bigger fool than I originally suspected. Don't you think I weighed that option before I enacted my plans?
Nah. And Serana's opinion in this?
I care nothing for Serana, or our plight.
I just asked you what her
Whether or
opinion
not
was.
You've become one of us in order to survive the Soul Cairn. You're still a vampire hunter at heart.
Well,
You're here because we're
True.
abominations in your mind.
very true.
Evil creatures that need to be destroyed.
Well, except for her. I like her. Serana believes in me. Why won't you?
Serana? The stranger aligns himself with those that would hunt you
Whoa.
down and slay you like an animal. Yet I should entrust you to him.
This stranger has done more for me in the brief time I've known him than you've done in centuries.
Burn.
How dare you?
No, she
I gave
didn't.
up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father.
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
If you'd only open your eyes the moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end, I'm still just a pawn to you two. I want us to be a family again.
Huh.
But I don't know if we can ever have it.
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't
we
think that's
deserve
gonna
that
happen.
kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. But we have to stop him before he goes too far. And to do that, we need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours.
But not without a fight.
Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me. But for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can.
Do you have the Elder Scroll with you? Of course not.
Yes.
Ooh.
I've kept it safely secured here.
That was
since
unexpected.
I was imprisoned. Fortunately, you're in a position to breach the barrier that surrounds these ruins.
I've pretty much done most of it already, I think.
You need to locate the tallest of the rocky spires that surround these ruins. At their bases, the barrier's energy is being drawn from unfortunate souls that have been exiled here. Destroy the keepers that are tending them, and it should bring the barrier down.
Alright then. We'll return soon.
One more word of warning. There's a
Oh,
dragon that
no.
calls itself Durnavir roaming the camp. Be wary of him.
Oh, that's all we
The
need.
Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the keepers, and will undoubtedly intervene if you're perceived as a threat.
I usually am. Kill the Boneyard Keep. Oh, I already got one of them. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay, fair enough. If I leave the Soul Cairn, can I return safely? Or safely return?
As you've been traveling in the Soul Cairn, your body has become attuned to it. Let's just say a tiny part of you rubbed off on it, and in its place, a bit of the soul cairn filled the void. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer.
Ah. Why haven't you pursued the prophecy?
Harkon's vision is a world plunged in eternal darkness, where the vampire can flourish, and never again fear the tyranny of the sun. What he fails to realize is how much attention would be called to our kind if the prophecy came to fruition.
What sort of attention?
Eternal night fell. There are many who wouldn't stand for it. They would raise armies in attempts to return things to normal.
Yeah, you know, the food chain is kind of important.
Destruction, until every last vampire was hunted down and eliminated.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I do.
So you prefer living in the
It's
shadows?
how the vampire has survived for millennia, and the only way we can continue to survive in the future.
How did you become
When I
imprisoned
entered
here?
the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place.
So are they keepers or ideal masters?
I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Masters the souls that they.
It's an awful name, the ideal
If I had
masters. It's
foreseen
just
the
really
value
dumb.
They placed on my own soul, I would never have come here.
They tricked you.
The Ideal Masters unleashed
Ah.
their keepers and sent them to destroy me. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay and retreat into these ruins.
You became trapped.
Unfortunately, yes. Since the Keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier that I'd never be able to breach.
You've been in prison here for all this
Time
time?
has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the Ideal Masters as well. I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting game, each watching the other to see which will give in.
Who are the
I
ideal
know very
masters?
little about them. They're mystic entities that lord over the Soul Cairn, controlling every aspect from its fabric to its appearance.
Oh my gosh, what do they resemble?
Some necromancers believe they are the crystalline structures dotting the Soul Cairn. I believe there's more to it than that.
How so?
I think they transcend what we perceive as a physical form.
Are those things that were flying
Perhaps
around?
They were once corporeal beings, but they've obviously reached a point where they no longer require a tangible presence.
And the crystals?
Conduits, through which the Ideal Masters speak to their underlings and feed on their victims.
Oh my gosh, why would they require
The
sustenance?
Ideal Masters' weakness is their insatiable hunger for pure soul. It's the reason for the Soul Cairn's existence, and the only leverage a necromancer has when bargaining with them.
What do the
ability
masters
to
provide in
summon
return?
powerful undead guardians, as one would conjure an Atronak or Daedra. However, the majority of necromancers that are foolish enough to enter into a bargain with the Ideal Masters wind up here as harvested souls.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go look for these things and be right back.